Hello, YouTube. We're back. This is another episode of Workers and Resources Soviet Republic. Let's hit play. We need money. Yes, we do. Money, money, money. Money makes the world go round, even in our Soviet Republic. Sad but true. But not forever. Eventually, we'll be completely self-sufficient, and we'll be very, very happy about that. So, what is next? We've gotten this all set up finally. It should be completely self-sufficient. I'm a little bit worried we might not have enough trucks in here, but I think we do. I think this is just about the right amount of farms for this area. We'll have to check at the end of harvest season and make sure that these silos are filling up nicely and aren't overfull, but they shouldn't be. Should be okay. So how close are we to harvest? 70%? Sure. What about over here? This one should be going a bit faster because we built those small fields to make it a bit faster. And these ones are 80%. So yeah, I mean, that's the advantage of building small fields, right? The other side used the large fields first this year because we didn't have it assigned quite properly. So the extra 10% growing is because the small fields get planted much, much quicker than the big fields. And you can start harvesting them a little bit sooner. Okay, so yeah, it looks good. Meanwhile, the path work continues, but it's going very slowly because we have a gravel bottleneck, which means this one will hopefully be done soon. Needs concrete, that's unfortunate. It'll get concrete soon enough, though. And the gravel has filled up enough now that we shouldn't have trouble. Oh, but this one's doing the question mark thing again. So let's auto-buy this one. Okay, sure, whatever. Not a big deal. I don't know why these dump trucks are sitting idle, though. They should all be working. It's very strange. We've got so many footpaths assigned here, but the dump trucks aren't moving any gravel, which is weird. Very, very weird. Maybe all of the accessible paths are already filled up with gravel and just need workers or something. But there should be plenty of local workers. I mean, and gravel paths, I mean, I don't know. It should be working. Maybe that's an issue. Maybe we need buses for gravel paths. Is that a thing? Like one bus to bring people in? Like I have it. Maybe that's it. Because these actually do have all the gravel, just no workers. So maybe that was a bit of an oversight in the way I've planned things. The pathways, I usually end up auto-building, or often end up auto-building pathways. So I'm thinking I made a small mistake there, actually, just in the way I have this assigned. Maybe this guy does need to be assigned footpaths, so we can get the buses out. I don't love that. That's for sure. They changed it? They changed it so you do need workers? Do you need workers for the roads too now? Probably not, though. I wouldn't think. So I guess what that means is that our road construction offices can no longer do footpaths, like, at all here. So I guess I'll uncheck footpaths. I guess that means we need less dump trucks there. And we'll put footpaths on this instead. That's not ideal. I really liked being able to build footpaths without workers. That was good. But I guess it's good in that the footpaths used to like suck in all the workers from a city when you assigned a bunch of them. So it's good that they're not doing that. All constructions start with 0 workers. Okay. Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, start with 0 workers. What does that mean, though? Does that mean that they don't get local workers automatically? Because it used to be, right, that all these local buildings would supply the footpaths with workers by themselves. That's a real pain in the butt, actually. That dramatically changes how you need to prioritize footpath construction. So, that's okay. We're supplying workers to these construction sites, and that's probably more important in the long run. We're really low on concrete here. I remember we took one of the concrete mixers away from this in order to put one more bus on or one more open. We did one more open. I don't know. I think it's okay. It's just going to have to catch up. Concrete's one of those weird things where it seems like you either need all of the concrete mixers or none of them, you know, at any given time. Some of these buildings require so much concrete, it's ridiculous. Others, nothing at all. And some stages need a bunch and some stages not at all. So here we're out of mechanical components, and that's a bit of an issue because I've mentioned before, we are very inefficient in how we're gathering our mechanical components, unfortunately. So we only have the one covered wagon here, and it's delivering mechanical components to the conveyor belt right now. So they're having to go all the way to the border with that, and that's not great. I think I am going to build a small warehouse around here somewhere, maybe right here. I kind of want to have this road at least have the ability to keep going this way. So I don't know. Maybe we'll just put it over here. That's probably fine, right? I think that's fine. I need to increase the limit. No, I checked that. I did check that. That was one of the things I was thinking might be the issue. Because if you click on this, you know, there is no up and down for the number of workers. Or there is, but it's maxed, right? All of them are maxed at 50 right now. Every one of them. What it does do is it keeps the numbers consistent. You know, if you turn them down on one building now, it'll have them turned down on the other building as well. And that's good. But that's not helping us here. Well, hopefully they'll get built sooner rather than later. And if we come back a while from now and they still aren't built, we'll just have to do it manually, I guess. So here's our new technical services is done. It needs... how are we doing here? Again, electrical components is the bottleneck. We need a local warehouse for those components. That seems like a big priority. So I'll go back to that. Maybe I should not have increased the limits of that other warehouse over there. That may have been like sort of short-sighted. Oh, that's not what I want. I want mod. I want small warehouse. Storage. Small warehouse. Just put them in right here, I guess. Unfortunately, there doesn't seem to be a place I can do it. Oh, I can do it like that. It's okay. I'm not too concerned about it looking all pristine right now. So I am going to turn this down to where it was before, which to do that, I'll just have to increase some of these other ones. So I don't need to have a steady supply of a ton of electrical and mechanical components here. It can be a smaller supply is fine. Like that, maybe. And then once this is done, we'll just assign the office at the border to also fill this up, and then we'll have a local supply available. Probably should have done that when I first built that construction zone, but I wasn't thinking that far ahead. I was thinking that the covered wagons are pretty easygoing for the most part. Don't generally need too many components. So what's going on here? We're still missing crops. Yeah, we're still not quite at harvest time. We're 88%, which means we should be harvesting at the food. And actually, that's a really important thing to check. We want to check these warehouses, and they're empty. Uh-oh, uh-oh, uh-oh. These are the most used stores. We do still have food there, and over here, we do still have food here. So basically what that's telling me is that our food infrastructure here is barely capable of keeping up, like just on the edge of not being enough. So I think we need to fix that. I think the way to do that is to put another little setup similar to what we have here. We'll just put another road out this way. Like that, and uh-oh. Too steep. Can we make this work? Yeah, we can make it work. That's fine. So, yeah, okay. Road cargo station. Kind of like, here maybe? Like this? Seems good. And then, 3 more warehouses. Again, I'm really considering downloading a mod for a larger warehouse. I haven't done it yet, but it's very tempting. So, turn on the wireframe, make it somewhat neat. Make these at least straight in relation to each other. Oh, shoot. It's too low. I think it's too low. Yeah. Oops. Oh, did that not work? Yeah, it did not work. Too steep of a descent. So it's too high? No, it is too low. Okay, so let's raise it a bit more. Let's try that again. Come on. Okay. Let's make sure this road works. It does. All right, now 2 more. And this is why we're glad we still have a construction office in this area. Can automatically work on this. And they'll be done very quickly over here. So, one like that, I guess. And a third one like this. Uh-oh. Power lines. Huh. Those power lines are getting in the way. That's fine. And then, I guess I'll take that out and then kind of do a sort of a dirt road going this way. Seems fine. Okay. That looks good to me. So soon we'll just have double the amount of food storage capacity we had before. And that should be plenty. We can even put more covered wagons in here if we decide that's necessary. They're all out delivering food to the cities right now. So these factories are slowly filling up with food from the factory over here. So that's going okay. Man, this is so much easier with its low throughput. So much easier. So hopefully this will be done soon. We're getting there. The mine's just going to be the thing that lags behind everything else, of course. It's not a big deal. How are we on steel supply up here? Oh, we're doing fine. We're totally refilling it in time. Meanwhile, these flatbed trucks are not in use. I wonder if something might have happened to unassign the construction office. It's possible. I doubt it, though. Yeah, no, we've lots... Oh, it's concrete, right. Concrete's the bottleneck right now. And mechanical components. Same as it was a minute ago. So once this warehouse is done, we'll solve at least half of that. Meanwhile, this is also waiting for workers. Got a bit of a backlog happening because of our concrete and component bottlenecks. So we do have that unfortunate situation that some construction sites only need workers and aren't getting them, and others need materials and aren't getting them, but have plenty of workers, which isn't ideal. As long as you don't have weird bottlenecks, you usually avoid that, but we have not successfully avoided it. That's fine. Oh, man. It's going. It's going. It's going slowly, but it's going. This one's also waiting for electrical components, and so is this, I assume. The power lines. They're probably... Yeah, they have all the steel they need and not electrical components, so... That covered wagon is the problem. Considering buying a second one temporarily here. I don't know what I'd take out of here, though. Maybe one of the dumpers? Maybe not. Can't produce concrete, you say. Well, we need more workers, and there they come right now, so we're fine. And there go the concrete trucks, picking it up. Meanwhile, our gravel limit is increasing. I think the problem with gravel here when we had that bottleneck is twofold, really. We built this all these gravel roads, like, all at once. And we also had that problem with the gas station, where the dump trucks were just stuck getting gas eternally. How are we out of money already? Did I, like, really leave it way too long last time? I must have. Yeah, look at that. We got, like, 120,000 paid off on that one, and our interest rate went up to 2.4% all of a sudden. So, like, no, we just totally botched taking out the new loan last time. Let it go way too long. And it's good that it lets you do that without, like, completely sabotaging you now. It just ends up costing you a lot more interest in the long run if you let that happen. So we're producing food as quickly as we're bringing in crops here right now, despite the fact that we took one of the buses off this line. So yeah, this is building reasonably fast. I really hope it's not a capacity problem at the source. I don't think it is. Might be, though. Have we completely turned off food exports? Because if we have, then it probably is a source problem as much as anything. We do need the extra warehouse space regardless, though. Just means we're going to want to put more fields in up here. Maybe we should just, like, do that. Maybe we should just realize that we're going to need more fields. If we don't right away, we're going to very soon, regardless. So it's probably worth doing. Maybe if we put a road out this way and then just have the fields over here. Yeah, I think it's time. I think it's time to work on more fields. So what are we going to do about power? These are small power lines coming up here. We could fork these off. That's probably the best bet. have our farm somewhere around here, give or take, our agro farm, and then have the field stretch out that way. Yeah, that seems important because we are absolutely processing all the food as it comes in. We aren't storing any long term at the moment. Yeah, but though our big fields are just starting to be harvested now, so that might not be a permanent issue. I do want to do this though. So let's get these roads built out a bit. I'm gonna turn on the wireframe. We do have a reasonably level area here. I think I'm gonna maybe go from this little flat area here and kind of flatten around. This does seem like a really good place for another farm. So we'll just have this area be like food town. Food is so important in this game, I find. It's such a high expense when you don't have the production locally. And again, it's a very high throughput. You use so much food that you need proper distribution for it. Can't really take shortcuts. Okay, so let's just make it more or less even here. Just kind of like do that kind of thing. And then I guess I'm going to start initially by doing medium fields across here. That's how we'll begin this. We want to have this up and running in time for next spring. That's the goal. And again, we have like a really open construction office here without too many projects on the go. So this stuff should be able to be completed pretty quick, you'd think. Now, how big is a big field here? Oh, that's fine. We need flat terrain, so let's do some more flattening. It does seem like farms are a little bit more forgiving now about like having like one little tiny bit of rock in the middle of the farm, which is good. This is a much bigger elevation change than it looked at first glance, but it's still not that bad. And again, we have so much construction gear that isn't being used in this part of the map. Ooh, flattening stream. My favorite kind of stream. I find farming, you know, like in building these farm areas to be one of the more annoying fiddly bits of the game. Because most industries, like, you're only planning a few buildings, and yeah, it's a jigsaw puzzle. I got to put it together the right way and all that. But it takes, like, not that much time to plan out versus the amount of time it takes your guys to build it. Like, it's a pain to build those big factories and stuff, and mines and all that sort of stuff. But in terms of farms, the actual construction's pretty quick. But most of your time is spent just doing this kind of mindless tedium of flattening land and things like that. It would be nice to be able to like do a thing maybe where you just like almost like zones in SimCity, just say I want all this area to be flat, and then leave your construction offices to the job for a while. Just like click and drag maybe a box and say everything in this box should be flat, and then just have the game do it. That would take out a lot of the busy work. But, you know, small dev team. And you know, there is a certain amount of, like, relaxation time here, you know, just sitting here watching the ground slowly level itself. Yeah, they do have a suggestion box. I should, like... Basically, what's happening here is since I'm streaming and I got a microphone in front of my face, I figure I got to keep talking, you know? So these aren't real complaints. They're just like, you know, little like, well, you know, wouldn't it be nice? And it's not enough of a complaint that would actually make me try to do something about it or be like in any way productive about it. But it's enough that I feel like I can fill a bit of time. Say a thing. So that's where my head's at. Another loan would be great. Our total debt level is slowly declining at the moment. We're down to like 2.3, which is more or less where we started today at, like, what, 4 episodes ago. And then we went up a bit, and then we came back down. A little more flattening. I also think, like, as much as that sounds like a simple system when you describe it, you'd probably have to recode large parts of the game to allow for a completely new way of assigning work, right? Which doesn't really have a parallel anywhere else in the game. So it's probably a much bigger suggestion to implement than it sounds like just to say it. Would be nice, though. All right. Okay, so I think I might just put the food factory or the agro farm like right over here, you know, just so it's kind of close to this stuff. Maybe that's not an idea though. Not a good idea. Yeah, let's do another row of a few mediums over here, and then we'll put the agro farm maybe here or something. I don't know. Figure it out. This is a significant bump in height here. Am I doing this right? Like, I might be kind of off. Oh, well. Let's lower it a bit. Be easier in the long run. Yeah. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so if we do some medium fields with this orientation here, it will let us do that one, which is interesting. And then I think I'll put a power line right across here. So how is this going to look? Just start making roads, I guess. See what happens. It's a bit of a pain. Oh, there we go. That's fine. Good. Okay. So, all of our infrastructure can maybe go over here, and then we can have big fields stretching out along here. Seems good. So let's do that. First, we need one more road going this way. Need to make sure there's enough space for these to hook in, and they do. Actually, I probably shouldn't be building those yet. I don't want to hook any roads up to these farms, because that agro farm will take them over. Might have already happened. No, it didn't already happen. Oh, building's on fire. Let's make sure it's in range. We don't have to pay attention. Oh, it totally is. Fire station's right there. It's fine. Okay. So, now I'm going to put the agro farm here, and I'm going to put maybe a gas station right next to it. The other gas station over here is a little far away, and there's one here. There are a few gas stations reasonably close, but I don't know. I like having a gas station right next to the farm. It's much more efficient that way. So we'll put it there, I guess. Yeah. And then, gas station. Right here. Yeah, I'll put it right up against the road. And then we'll do the power right next to it here. So, substation here. And then connect the wires up to the closest place, which is actually not bad. It's like, there's probably some free slots here. There's a couple free slots. So we'll take one of these relatively small little power lines and just drag it out from this spot. That's not bad. Seems to be building one right in the middle of the road, which is an interesting design choice, but whatever. Okay, so we got power lines coming in. That's good. Now we need one distribution center, I think. I think one's plenty in this case. We'll put that right here. Okay, now I'm going to build another road out this way. Well, I'll make the fields first. Then I'll put a road between them. So big fields. It's going well. Can we do another one here without flattening? That would be nice. Probably not, but maybe. Oh, we can. Good. I think that's enough. So I think that's all we need to do right now. We'll hook up the road later. We'll just run it right down the middle so we know where we're going. I think the last one's a little bit misaligned here. It's not too bad, but yeah. Yeah, whatever. It's fine. Okay. So next summer, we'll have doubled the amount of food, more or less doubled, that we'll have coming into this food factory. And we'll also have doubled the amount of food storage over here. And look, we're already at a pretty good spot for food storage. So the big hope is that these two distribution offices will have enough room for one more task. They do. That's excellent. At least this one does. What about this one? Yes. Beautiful. So unload bread up to 90%. And you, same deal. Unload bread up to 90%. Okay. Wonderful. Yes, I'm an omnivore. We are making great progress. And then we'll add this second road cargo station here, and we'll connect it same way as the first one. Bread starting at 0%. Okay. Now, at some point, we'll probably put a second distribution office in here for exporting, but we haven't gone to that point yet. Farmsville has grown. And it's going to build this real quick because it has so much construction gear nearby. It'll definitely be ready in time for planting season. And then what I'll end up doing is just turning off the auto assign on here while I... Yeah, those are I saw all these sowings and I was like, wait a minute, what's going on here? But no, it's just because they're done harvesting, so they reset back to sowing. And there's good room. We might have to put that third bus back on the food factory line just in order to sustain this much supply of crops, but that's fine. No biggie. Now that we have enough warehouse space, we can happily store those crops until they're needed. Oh, that's weird. Why isn't that assigned to the farm? It should be. What? Well, now it is. How'd that happen? We do have it set to auto-assign, so I don't quite understand how that's even possible. I guess now it'll start harvesting. That's good. Here comes the new harvester. I have no idea why that didn't auto-assign. It's very strange. Oh, back to 0. More monies. We let 160,000 go overdue again. Oops. Gotta pay more attention to that. I'm slipping. So hopefully we have enough food for this particular coming year. A little concerned we might not, but maybe. Maybe it'll be okay. All right. Man, I really enjoy lumpy textiles. I like how lumpy it is. I like how little effort I put into flattening this area and how it just worked. Oh, it's so lumpy. Look how lumpy it is. Lumpy Textiles is well named. The nail is less well named, but it is coming along quite well. The aggregate storage is done. These conveyor belts are done. Yeah, the train station's done. The storage is done. We got this conveyor belt in the mine, and that's it. That's all that's left. So, I mean, we got this warehouse done over here, really, or not even done, but it will be done just in time to be absolutely useless because we'll have finished all the things we need all the components for. That's okay. Ooh, there comes a crane to work on this. Still needs one more mechanical component, but it's got a crane, so that's good. I think once this harvest season's done, or even maybe before then, I'm going to upgrade this path to gravel. I could do that right away, actually, because this is not a very commonly used road at the moment. It's really only used for delivering clothes to our first city over there and our big city, and that doesn't happen too much. So let's just do that for now, I guess. This mine is going to take a long time, though. It needs 3,500 work days. Look at this. I mean, most of these vehicles are going unused. I'm glad the cement trucks caught up reasonably quick, though. That's good. It's really just the buses that are needed, plus the one covered wagon, which is not nearly sufficient, unfortunately, because it's going all the way to the border to get a single load of like components. We need to fix that. We haven't built new flats in like ages and ages. We should start thinking about that though, because pretty soon we're going to need some more workers for the iron area. We should also think about more schools, like another kindergarten or something. Do we want to keep expanding this way? Trouble is our food and our platform are right here, so we need to expand in this direction instead. So let's start working on that right now. I'm gonna begin a gravel road going this way. I'm gonna use the wireframe so it's not crooked or anything. And actually, I'm gonna do a little bit more flattening work before I get going on that. Just get it all perfect. Especially for city building placements, it's really nice not to have to worry about needing more space between buildings or whatnot because it's not flat. Normally, if I can get away with it, if I'm planning industry or something, I won't worry too much about having it all perfectly flat. But for planning cities, I think it's really necessary. Otherwise, you're wasting a lot of space and a lot of walking distance. Oh, all the gravel pathways have finished. That having those buses available did do the trick. That is annoying, though. I'm probably going to just like auto buy gravel paths at this point because it's silly. I usually do that anyway, to be honest, so whatever. Not a big loss. Seems about right. So we'll immediately start on that, and then we'll start building around that. So, what do we actually need aside from just residential buildings? We could use some more fields in this little town. Our kindergarten is pretty full. We should have certainly another kindergarten. So let's start with flats and go from there. So neat how you can build stuff under power lines now. That's such a great change. I don't like that. I think I'm going to build right along this road, and then I'll build a smaller building back there. So we'll start by doing that and that. And then a field maybe behind. Either a field or a small apartment building, or maybe both. I don't know. How much space is a field going to take? And can we squeeze it in under the power lines? Because that would be really cool. And give people some, like, high-tension power line radiation as they play. Oh, yeah, that's great. It's a great place for a field. Okay, and then a small little tower on the other side. One of these. Good stuff, right there. All right. Maybe another kindergarten right across the street. We're out of money again. I'm watching. Kinda. Sorta. Kindergarten. Which orientation do we want it at? I guess that way? I suppose. Doesn't make too much of a difference. Except that we'd have to remove one of those paths, but realistically, 3 paths right there are overkill anyway. So yeah, that seems fine. I don't know how we're going to build out from there, but that's okay. This is enough for now, I think. Once this road is done, we'll start on the... Actually, now that we can build these with only paths, we might as well start hooking up paths right away, and we can get to work. That's a really nice innovation, I think, in the game, being able to build with only paths. All right. can also hook this road up. So that'll get all those started. And you see, we have it set for a max 11 workers from outside of construction office, which is great that it saves that. The same type of building. Where's that warehouse? Is it done yet? Come on, warehouse. Oh boy, has all the resources but no workers. Construction office is busy making all those paths happen right now, I think. Unfortunately. Yeah, it still has a bunch of footpaths in its queue. It's not ideal. But I see once they start, they finish pretty quick. That gravel quarry is still only 20% done after all this time. I'm gonna hook this up to the main road. Over this way, maybe. Kind of dodge the power lines, I suppose. Rather than rebuild them. That seems fine. Well, I don't know. I don't love it. I'm gonna just do that slightly better, maybe. Maybe start on this side. Then go straight as far as that, and then curve. Like that. Seems good. So that'll make certain trips faster. Like, for instance, this bus stop to the mine, which will be a very prominent trip very soon. So how's the farm going over here? It's probably like almost done already, eh? Probably. Yeah, it really is almost done. Needs a bit more steel and like 500 more work days. It's not bad at all. We don't have a road connecting the gas station, which we should do just so it starts constructing for us. Power lines are done already too. That's nice. Wait for me, steel train. Still have plenty of steel in storage. I could probably push the export number up a little bit, but I don't see any point in doing that right now. I like this little, like, terraced food warehouse setup we have here. It's very, very nice. Little terrace. I am tempted to put an export distribution office, but just a tiny, tiny, tiny one. But, that's silly. Don't really have to worry until we're in at least some danger of filling the warehouses, and we aren't this year. Like, this year we're not really producing at that rate, which is actually a good thing right now. We'll put a couple more buses onto the food factory next year when we have twice as many farms, and then that'll really help at that point. This Agro Farm 2 is now completely done, so I'm going to unassign auto search for this farm. And then I think if we keep auto search on and then build the roads one by one in the order we want it to add them, it should do that. Because, oh, wait a minute. It's added big fields 5, 7, and 8 already. And those are already attached to this one. So, hey, let's not do auto assign then, right? At all. We'll have to manually assign everything because we have two farms that are too close to each other. We can't really rely on auto assign. That's okay. My alignment wasn't quite perfect there, but that's whatever. So we'll start with these mediums. We have 5 mediums, and that's perfect because we'll have 5 harvesters, or five sowers, rather. We might take this field as well away from the other farm. That might make sense, but let's not do that right now. Because this field, or this one, I guess, sometimes one of them struggles to get done each year. Then we'll buy a bunch of combines and sowing things. Now, we do have much better farm equipment available than we used to, so realistically, this particular agro farm could outpace the old one because of that alone. Okay. It'll be done in plenty of time for next summer's or next spring's planting season. And it kind of works out that we'll have like the one distribution office here and 2 over here, because these 2 are tasked with, as well as managing the fields, also moving food from the factory to the warehouses over here. So just having this one strictly for the fields alone, and even if it can't haul from all the fields, which it should be able to, we can always use these 2 to just pick up the slack a little bit. So that should work really well. This gravel road's going okay. Looks like it's 2/3 done, more or less. Maybe I'll start doing this back route here. Well, the back route's barely used though, right? Like, I don't worry too much about farm roads just because they're like so, like, the farm equipment is so slow anyway, right? Like, who really cares about farm roads? And we have plenty of covered wagons to haul the crops in, so. Meanwhile, these silos are actually running really full at the end of harvest season here. So it'll be interesting to see, like, they go up to 720, which is 90% capacity, and we're almost there. So, like, it's completely filled them. Meanwhile, we do have, like, 85 workers at the fabric factory. So I think, like, what I was guessing earlier, which is that one fabric factory will go just about perfect with 1 agro farm and 3 silos. That seems to be what's happening. So that's good. We are getting plenty of workers. I'm not going to put another bus on this route. That doesn't make any sense. But hopefully these crops will last at least most of the year before they're out, and we can be nice and efficient about it. That would be good. This particular field is the one that always has trouble getting the last of the crops in at the end of the season. And we're right at the end of the season right now. Let's check on our coal supply for our heating plants. Just make sure everything's good before we run into real problems. That one's fine. And this one is also fine. Good. And we should buy some snow plows before we need it in this new technical services that we built at the end of last winter but didn't get in time to actually use. So do we have a brand new snow plow that's better than the old ones? I think we were using this Kaz before, and it is the best, and it's not new. It's been around for 6 years. I'll start with 5, I guess. This warehouse is being very sluggish. Well, we'll eventually get the components all the way from the border up here, I guess. We have all the components we need for the mine. That is wonderful. And everything else is already completely finished except the power lines. So we're going to need electrical components for the power lines, but that's not a big deal. That'll go pretty quick once we have them. What about the small power lines? Where are they? We did do small power lines, right? Yeah. Yeah, I remember putting them in. Here they are. They also need components. Okay. But that's fine. The mine is like the big bottleneck of time right now. That's what's going to really be annoying to get that done. Did we never do a bus stop up here? I meant to do a bus stop by this ore processing plant. It probably doesn't matter though. Though ideally I would want a single bus stop for both of these two buildings. And I think we can make that happen. So that's a problem. Should have done that when we were working on this area. Put plenty of bus stops in. We could put one here. Could theoretically just put it right up here, like have it stick out funny, but I don't like that. I do want to have a bus stop here. So I'm going to wait until these buses drop off their workers, and then I'm just going to do some surgery to this road, and I'll hook it back up again, and I'll purchase the parts that we have demolished just so it keeps going. And take out another loan. I'm watching this time. Okay. Let's get this done. Get it done nice and quick. Okay. Bus stop right here, please. Kind of like that, I guess. Like that. Can't build due to infrastructure. Oh, no. Really? Come on. Might be hard getting that road to hook up because the elevation change is much more severe than it was before. Like, much more severe. So I think that that's actually a screw up. I'm totally going to have to redo a lot of these roads, unfortunately. Oops. Yeah. We need to be much lower. And this is a pretty straight road, so, I mean, we can go a lot lower and have it be okay. All right, let's try again. If at first you don't succeed, build more bus stops. It's in a slightly better place this time, too. Somehow that works. It doesn't feel like it should, though. I'm going to just tighten it up a little bit here. It's going to look a bit nicer. And then we just have to purchase that. There's really no choice. And then once that fills its way in, we'll just connect this dirt road like that. Okay. Now we want a footpath coming from, like, here, I guess. Oh, come on. Really? All right. Well, I'll press play. Lower the train down here a bit. Okay, well, we'll lower the train up here a bit as well. There we go. Now that should be walkable, no problem. It is. Oh, we also need to auto-buy this bus stop, because otherwise vehicles are going to get real confused trying to come up to the coal mine. Like this question mark here, which just resolved itself, was totally that. So there we go. Now we have a bus stop that can service both the coal mine and the processing plant, which makes it way more convenient for routing, you know. Won't have to worry about having a bunch of little buses coming up to this one and big buses up to the other one. We'll just set it to like 90%, 10% or something, and it'll sort itself out. Snow! Well, aren't we glad we just built snow plows? Here they are. Okay, so heating plant's still fine. It is. Power plant's perfectly okay. Other heating plant, I'm sure, is still fine as well. Just making sure. Don't want more starvation and more death and more freezing. We are still getting huge escape numbers, but that's entirely because of lack of housing. Like, our population is absolutely rock steady, with 1,000 more births than deaths, but also like the same 1,000 escaping. So whatever. I think you do reach a point in this game where you just have enough people and then population growth stops being an issue, and we're at that point. All right. At first, of course, it's very difficult getting population up unless you're willing to spend a lot of money importing workers, which I don't like to do. I'll do it if I have to, but yeah. So here comes all the supplies. Getting work done. It's too bad you can't, like, there's no mechanisms that can be used to make a mine, which is one of the reasons it takes so bloody long. Because I'm pretty sure the cranes give, like, your workers a multiplier to their time, you know, their work days. And multipliers are what you want. Generally, in any strategy game in the world, you want multipliers. It's interesting that these power lines are just stubbornly not being built, and it's totally because this transformer hasn't been finished yet. And all we need is workers here. We have all the stuff. So I'm just going to fund that one. It's less than 1,000 rubles, whatever. And at least that way these power lines can start. Be more prioritized and so on. Those are the last two things that we need in this whole area, is the power lines and the mine. And they should finish about the same time. Now this bus stop's fine, right? Yeah, it's totally fine. It's weird that the snowplow stopped right here and turned around, it looks like. It's very strange. I do want to switch it so it prioritizes asphalt roads a bit higher and gravel second and mud last, you know? What about this one? That's a bit better. Okay. Small amount of tourists due to 0.1 star rating. I should really be making some sort of tourist town at some point. Have buses specifically to take people on sightseeing missions and stuff, and like, I don't know, I haven't played with any of that. None of it. But we're still building the basics in this town, so I'm okay with that. I'm okay with it being a basics time. We'll get to the fancier stuff later, that's for sure. And then once this is done, we're going to have to plunk down a whole bunch more money and buy a train. But fortunately, you know, our debt is slowly, like, well, I don't know if it's decreasing or not, but it's certainly not increasing. So once it comes time to afford a train, we'll be able to do it without any trouble. Might want another coal mine bus, like, just to make sure that this stays fed, especially since, you know, we'll be wanting to ramp up steel mill production, I think, if we can, once the, once we're not importing iron anymore. It's going to be far more worthwhile to make vast quantities of steel for export. As it is, we're making some money off the steel we export, but we're costing ourselves with the iron imports. At least we're getting it right from the border, so that's a big benefit. So the worst part of importing stuff like steel is the transportation costs, for sure. But hey, everyone, this is the end of this here episode. I'm going to press the pause button. I'm going to pause for the cause, and that's the cause of finishing the episode. So come back next time, YouTube. I'll have another episode up tomorrow, unless something goes horribly, horribly wrong, which it won't. So come back tomorrow. I'll see you then. Bye-bye.